To know why can't we pass a voter ID bill in this session for presentation before voting? Sort of an election reform question. We'll throw that out on the table. And how about any other discussion of election reform issues? Who wants to take a run at that?
Well, I've been an author of the photo identification requirement for voting for the past 2 years and been a fan of it when other legislators have brought it up before. I don't understand why every citizen nearly carries a driver's license or a state-approved, government-approved identification card of some sort, whether it's on an Indian reservation or whether it's just a state identification card for just the use of going through life. You have to present it when you write a check. You have to present it when you use a credit card to board a plane. Just about anything and everything you need an identification card. But for some reason, it's not appropriate to present your identification when you go into the sanctity of a voting booth. I find that to be a great mystery in the state of Minnesota. I think it's needed in Minnesota, and I think it's a very mild requirement in order to vote. You know, photo ID doesn't require someone to move across back to an old address. That's an inaccurate assumption. What it identifies is who is the person voting. There's plenty of things you can do to vote in any election. You can bring a gas bill. You can have someone vouch that you live there. That isn't the purpose of photo ID. That's for the purpose of identifying who the individual citizen is and are they voting.
But the back home.
Minnesota does make accommodations for voters. They do make accommodations for them. Even if you have a wrong address on a driver's license, all you have to do is bring your neighbor and they go to the voting booth and say, he lives next to me. That's as simple as Minnesota law is. Or if you don't have a neighbor that's willing to do that, all you have to do is bring a gas bill or a lease or something that shows that you're touched with that address in that precinct. That's as simple as it gets.
Senator Limmer, I'll start with you.
I was just taking a breath, but...
This is like an auction. You move and I'll sell you the chair you're sitting in.
You know, I've been through 3 redistricting programs in the state every 10 years, and as I look at it, eventually the courts every single time came up with the solution, I think. And no matter who draws the plan, it's going to go to the court. I think even if you had an independent body drawing the plan, aside or apart from the legislature, it would be drawn into court. I just think it's the nature of the political boundary process now.
Well, it does take some partisanship out of it.
It does.